Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasibuke ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senze ama reviews ama recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga any other issues avukayo uma ngabe lama shows sesiwabukele ku TV. Uma ngabe uqala ujoin namhlanje and you happen to like our content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi bese uyaphinda futhi upressa i-notification bell eduze kuka-subscribe ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Kanjalo if ufuna ukuba i-member yale channel, there is a join button la ngezansi. There is also a thanks button uma ngabe ufuna ukudonate to the channel ngemali. There is also an opportunity to support a channel by watching ama adverts kule channel. We really appreciate it a lot. So you guys, some of you were with me when we were going through season 2 of Real Housewives of Durban, all of our reviews. I think recently that has been the most fun TV show to do a review for. I think the viewers that liked that show, we really used to have so much fun. And during the premieres, having those conversations about the reviews, it really was fun. I think it was fun for me. So obviously I am looking forward to season 3. Wayo Real Housewives of Durban. I had no doubt whatsoever if season 3 was coming or not. It just would have been such a mistake to not bring it back, because out of all the franchises that we've had in Africa, it's one of the best. Really, I like it. It's nice to watch, it's nice to review. Of course, there were issues here and there that I wish that they could fix, but the show overall, I do want it to come back. So it sounds like, yes, it is come back. Kune article that's written by Alicia Naidu for the South African publication that was written yesterday, the 23rd of September 2022, and she is referencing a post ka Film Phela, because Film Phela had posted ukuthi a decision has been made. Real Housewives of Durban has been picked for season 3. What they are not able to confirm at this point is who has been casted for season 3. But as a response to that post, there are viewers that have expressed that they wouldn't want Lachonco kanye noMakhe Uthobile Khumalo Mseleko to come back on the show. I don't think that it's a surprise to any of us that those two are picked. But my reasons are corner would be interesting, you guys, because honestly, if we're going to go according to who gave us a storyline when it comes to season 3, I don't necessarily think that we are making the right decision in saying that we don't want Lassie to come back, and also for Makhymalo as well. But here are my reasons here, you guys. If we are going to go according to our story lines, who had a story go season 2 of Real Housewives of Durban and why they should come back, if our decision is based solely on the content, I don't think Lassie should be one of those people, honestly, you guys, to be taken off the show. I do not think that if what our viewers are saying, who provided us with content, and whoever didn't provide us with content should leave. Because if that is our deciding point, how much content did we get from a person, I think that Usorisha should be on the running for Abantu Abafanele Bahambe, because I really don't think that Usorisha really gave us anything when it came to content during season 2, not only on season 2 but also on season 1. So I don't know how for the viewers we can have Makhymalo no Lassie but not have Usorisha there as one of the people that should not come back if the decision is based on who gave us the content. When it comes to Lassie, you guys, I do understand that people were irritated with her because she came so much for Makhymalo. So a lot of the people that do not want Lassie back are Makhymalo's fans. Also, she just started to irritate people because she was just doing too much when it came to coming from Makhymalo. There's also that thing, Yoguti, she was lying about Mr. Petal, you guys. My opinion on the Mr. Petal thing is that even though it was a lie, but it made so much content, it created so much content for that season. There isn't a lot of episodes that went by without Mr. Petal being mentioned, and that was a storyline. Sika Nonkanye Sochongo. It was a lie, and but that is part of a storyline, the fact that she was lying. So she had a storyline, it's just that the storyline was a lie, but that made the episode interesting, because throughout the season we were trying to to come to a point where we understand whether what she was telling was true or not. At some point we were expecting that at some point we were going to meet Mr. Petal, and we never met him. Of course, at some point it got to a point where it felt like the story was getting old. We were like, we are over this Petal thing, there's no Mr. Petal, Mr. Petal is not rich or whatever. But that is what they were talking about a lot when it came to Real Housewives of Durban season 2. In fact, even that storyline even made it to the finale episode. They had a conversation about it. That is what was causing the conflict between Ulasik and with the ladies. She's lying about Mr. Petal. But when it comes to content, unless we're saying we are just irritated that she lied, but we cannot give a reason that Ulasi didn't have a storyline. Ulasi had a storyline. It was a storyline that she was lying. That is a storyline that she was lying about having a boyfriend that never existed. That is a storyline. So I feel like if we use that as a category to say a person must go, I don't think that Ulasi is that person. However, you guys, if I had to decide, if I had to make a decision, Ulasi must go, I would go for the fact that she's not showing us her real life. I wouldn't say that she doesn't have a storyline. I would say that she doesn't show us her real life. I feel like we haven't met any of Lasi's family members. We haven't been to her real place because we know that that place was rented. We haven't seen her work on the show. We haven't seen her work really. We saw her business in the first season, but in the second season she didn't show us much. She seemed to not want to show us her private life. We haven't met her baby on the show. There's so much limitations when it comes to how much she showed us of her life, that she ends up lying about things to create storylines. It's almost like she's that cast member that understands that to be on the show I need to have a storyline, but she doesn't want to show us her real life, so she will create something for us to look at instead of looking at a real life. So I don't think that with Ulasi we can use the category Yoguti she did not have a storyline, because she did. It was just at the end we discovered it was a lie. And also, you guys, she does bring that thing njena kunalento ayilethayo yokukhuluma isiZulu, unalama jokes lawa nokwasho here and then. Guys, who's gonna say sweetie? You know who's gonna say sweetie? You know who's going to say that day, khona lezi zinto nje I show you during the show that makes show ibe like it feels so South African, and feel like engathi now being South African, being Zulu, you can relate to that show. Ukuthi show yethu lena, you wanna watch it because Ulasi is there. So akathi ngoba with Real Housewives now she acts a certain way, usa uyena nje Ulasi. For me khona lento anayo that it makes me wanna see her on the show, but I could see how other people would feel like she should not come back for season 3. In a way, for me, guys, I would say Ulasi is like a Nini Leaks of Real Housewives of Durban. Nini Leaks in a sense that Nini at the beginning of the show, she really was fun to watch in Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was the show. If you didn't see Unini, it was like it's not Real Housewives of Atlanta. But it got to a point where Unini would do a lot of things that viewers didn't like. So people then started saying, she needs to go. But a lot of the viewers were saying, but she is the OG of Real Housewives of Atlanta. If she leaves, the show is not going to be the same. But it got to a point where the producers didn't have a choice. They had to let her go. But she carried so much. She carried the show so much that when she left, the show really did change a lot. And when they brought her back, it didn't work as much as it did the first time. So I feel like Ulasi has that thing when it comes to Real Housewives of Durban. Remember, she is one of the OGs of Real Housewives of Durban, and Kona Lento Lena Letayo, that is different from everybody else on the show. I do feel like if she's not there, the show will definitely feel different. It does not mean that the show will not survive without Ulasi. It definitely will survive, but it definitely will feel different. And any into engidoubt is that even if they brought her back, I don't think that she's going to share more than she's already shared of her life. So it's almost like I want her back so much because I like her so much, but at the same time it's like I already know that she's not gonna show her real life. So what would be the point? It just would be the waste of space for another season on the show. But if she's not coming back, guys, I do not want to lie, I am definitely going to miss Ulasi. The show is definitely not going to be the same. The nice thing about Tulasi right now is that she's booked and busy, honey. She's going to be doing a perfect wedding. She's starting exercise at the first show that she's going to be doing. When she announced it on Instagram, she actually said that she was going to be seen twice on TV at the same time. So there is another show on DSTV that she's going to be doing while she's doing a perfect wedding. So she's booked and busy, so I don't feel so bad for her if she's not coming back, because it seems like she has gotten jobs because of Real Housewives. So she's going to be okay financially. She's going to be okay. It won't hit her that much ephaketheni. When it comes to Makhymalo, you guys, I've never thought Makhymalo was a good fit for Real Housewives of Durban. When she did the season, I was proven right, because I felt like here she is. Every opportunity that she had to give us some content, she didn't. She waited until the reunion. Of course, there was that issue where we felt like our producers were not showing us some content that was there. Esina Makhymalo. But I don't think that we can be able to use that to say she must come back because Koningoma Aishaya at some point is Nasangayibona on the show. So I've never liked her for the show. I like her on Ntando and Makhymalo. I didn't like her for the show, and when she came, it felt like it wasn't a good fit for her. However, you guys, I do agree with the thing of every housewife deserves at least 2 seasons. I do agree with that thing, because I do feel like a housewife is always nervous with their first season. When you first come, you are nervous. You're getting used to the cameras, which she was already used to because she does Ntando and Makhymalo. We're getting used to the ensemble of the women, relating to the women. You're building new friendships at the same time while getting used to being in this new show. So I always feel like I agree with people that say every housewife deserves at least 2 seasons to see if she really works for it. It's not fair to just give them 1 season and make a decision on it. So for that reason, I would understand if they bring her back, because they might justify her lack of content last season by saying she was new to the show. She really was just waiting to get used to it, and you can see that because at the reunion she really brought it and wada. So Makhymalo, we might have her back. However, you guys, I'm not gonna cry if they make a decision that Makhymalo is not coming back. I will not cry about it, because I do feel like she was a waste of space when it came to the casting of Real Housewives of Durban. She didn't give much. She really just didn't give much. However, if she comes back, I think it will be a fair chance for her to prove herself that she really is for this show, and she will give us content. And really, she might surprise us, because she did surprise us at the reunion. Like, a decision hasn't been made yet, but if she comes back, I think it will be for that reason. And you guys, I don't know why Labantu about who are the only people that are being looked at when it comes to them leaving the show. I really just, except for the private jets, I really just don't know what the storyline Sorisha is on Real Housewives of Durban, except that she is the richest of all of them, and they probably feel like if she doesn't come back this season, who is going to get them a private jet to go to another destination for their holiday, for their girls' trip. But other than that, you guys, Sorisha doesn't do much on the show. She really doesn't do much. She really doesn't say much. I like her as a person, but when it comes to really like giving us content, she really doesn't give much. So I don't know why for the viewers she's not in the running for people that are supposed to leave the show. And also when you look at the storylines, you guys, what was any storyline besides her trying to prove that Lassie was lying about Mr. Petal? What was any storyline? Annie didn't have a storyline too. We didn't see much of her. There were rumors going around about her relationship, her marriage, or whatever, but that was not talked about on the show. So why is she not on the running for people that should not return to the show? What was Londi London's storyline? You know, Londi London came as a businesswoman, a singer that didn't want to sing at some point. You know, she was offered an opportunity to sing on the show that she came on saying she was. She says she writes music, she sings, and then they gave her an opportunity to sing and she didn't want to sing. You know, what was the storyline with Londi London? So for those people, I also don't understand why they are not on the running to be the ones that are eliminated for season 3. For me, it doesn't make sense, especially when people use a storyline idea as the point of saying a person must not come back. For me, the people that really just gave us season 2, it was Mabusi, and it was what's her name? How am I forgetting? How am I? Unonku. Nonku Williams. Nonku had a story. Nonku was active during season 2, guys. Even when she didn't, sometimes my storyline sake was enforced by others because others didn't want us to focus on them. They wanted us to focus on her. Nonku had a storyline. I mean, Queen had a storyline more than the others. But I don't know if I want to see the Queen anymore. And then it was Mabusi was bringing it. And Mabusi had no pressure to have a storyline because she is a friend of the show. So, and also you guys, that's another thing that we have here is that Mabusi came as a friend of the show. And we liked her as a friend of the show. Now, if they decide in season 3 that they are bringing her as a friend of the show, but the person that really she is friends with, we are saying that person must go, you know, they might just decide to bring Ulasi back because they might be deciding to bring Ulokuzana or Umabosi back. And then there is Ujojo, you guys. Ujojo, I don't know, maybe naye it's like Londi London no Makhymalo, where maybe they just deserve a second season only because they've only had one season and we can judge them on how they did in the first season, but you know, we have to give them a chance and say it was their first season, they were not used to doing the show, so let's see how they do in the second season. However, I hate when it came to Jojo, is the things that she would say and do that were discriminating, or that seemed like she was racist, or she was acting racist, were ignored. I hate that they did that. I hate that. And she also seemed to have bully tendencies, and all of those things were just ignored, and it almost felt like everything was ignored because she is a white woman. I hated that about the show. If there's anything that will make me feel like I don't want Jojo to come back, it's that there's something anayo where it almost like she undermines the black women on the show. And yes, so yeah, I guess Makhymalo, Londi London and Jojo deserve a second season just because they've only had one season. Let's see how they do next. The others, guys, I think it's just fair game except for Unonku no Mabos. We'll see what decision they make, guys. I wouldn't mind if they just decided, you know what, we are not touching the cast, let's just bring them all back. Even that decision, I wouldn't mind, even though some, I don't know, there are people that have suggested that they want Ulokuzana, Tira's wives, to come. I don't know if I like her. I don't know if I like her for the show, but you know, maybe she might surprise us. I don't know, you guys. And apparently Usiska Kelly Kumalo was approached and she declined Uzandi. That would have been interesting as well. Anyway, you guys, we look forward to season 3, but we'll take whatever it is that they give us, as long as at the end of the day they work on the storylines thing, because sometimes it really just becomes boring when we just see them go from event to event to event, but we don't really see their real life, what they do for a living. Do they go to work? Where is their families and all of that? Sometimes it becomes boring. Anyway, you guys, tell me what you think about the announcement that Real Housewives of Durban is coming back for season 3. Who do you want to come back? I think we've done this before. Some people want this one, some people don't want this one. Khona the Makhymalo versus the Lachonco. Asazi ngoba kuthiwa bo2 abahambi. It's gonna be interesting, because it was nice to have that. We've got abantu bakaMakhymalo, we've got abantu even that brought some kind of an interesting thing when it came to the show. So we're gonna see if they both go. We're gonna see how that goes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ntando kakhulu.